The morning lay quiet over the small town, mist drifting above empty sidewalks. The bakery door half open, releasing the scent of bread and memory. A man walked through that pale breath of dawn. His coat worn, his eyes steady, his steps soft against the cold pavement. People noticed him but never really saw him. He moved like a shadow that carried warmth instead of darkness. The old woman by the newsstand nodded when he passed. The boy with the bicycle slowed without knowing why. Something about the stillness around him made noise feel out of place. He lived in a small room above the hardware store, a window looking toward the river. Inside was a chair, a lamp, and a single framed photograph. A younger man holding a child near the same river years ago. No one asked about it, and he never spoke of it. Each day he repaired small things that others broke. A hinge, a clock, a toy soldier. His hands careful, his silence gentle. He fixed without charging much and often left before thanks could arrive. In his quietness there was a strange comfort, like a blanket you didn't know you needed. Scene shift, evening light falling through telephone wires. The man walked to the diner where the waitress always poured his coffee before he sat. She once tried to ask his name but he only smiled. So she called him Mr. and he nodded. That nod said more than conversation ever could. In the corner booth a young couple argued, words like knives flashing then falling dull. The stranger looked once, then turned his gaze to the window. The couple caught that reflection of calm and somehow their voices fell lower. The waitress later said it was as if he absorbed their anger and gave back peace. Rain began to slide down the glass, each drop catching neon and streetlight. The stranger left a folded note beneath his cup. Just 3 words written in careful, uneven letters. Be kind always. The next morning the boy with the bicycle crashed on the bridge. A twisted chain, a scraped knee, a panic of tears. The man appeared from nowhere, lifted the bike, checked the wheel, tore a strip from his own sleeve and tied it around the bleeding knee. The boy tried to say thank you, but the man just touched his shoulder once and walked away. Scene shift, sunset at the river. The stranger standing by the water watching the current carry fallen leaves. His reflection trembled in the ripples. A faint sound escaped his throat, not quite a sigh, more like memory trying to become air. In town people began to talk softly about him. The woman whose rent was mysteriously paid 1 month. The stray dog that vanished in a storm then returned dry and fed. The note found on the church door saying hope is never silent. No one saw him write or leave or rescue. They just knew he was near when the world felt less cruel. One night the power went out across the street. A candlelight flickered in the window of the small apartment complex. Inside, an old veteran breathed heavy against the cold. The stranger knocked, entered with a flashlight. Without a word he covered the man with his own coat and fixed the fuse box. When the light returned he was gone. Scene shift, the diner again. The waitress told the regulars the story of the coat and the fuse. They laughed softly at the mystery. But their laughter carried warmth, not mockery. They began leaving extra food at the back alley in case the stranger passed hungry. No one saw him take it, but by morning the plates were always empty. Winter crept in with quiet snow. The town slower, the air sharper. Footprints appeared on the main street each morning before sunrise. Some said he walked to the hill beyond the bridge where the first sun touched the trees. Some said he waited for someone who never came back. The truth hid in the photograph above his lamp. A son he once had. A family once whole. Voices once loud with laughter now gone to places words could not reach. His silence was not emptiness, it was remembrance carried too long. Scene shift, snowfall over the river. The man standing still, his breath a ghost between worlds. He looked at the sky as if reading something only he could see. Then he turned and walked toward the orphanage near the edge of town. Inside, children slept in small iron beds. One light flickered in the hall. A small girl sat awake clutching a broken music box. The man knelt, repaired it with a twist of wire and patience. The melody returned, faint, trembling like a heartbeat. She smiled, closed her eyes and whispered, "Thank you, Mr. Quiet Man." He left before dawn, leaving behind the faint scent of rain and oil and kindness. On the door he taped a folded paper, a sketch of a bird with open wings. Beneath it a line written in the same uneven hand. Freedom belongs to hearts that still listen. Scene shift, morning, the bakery again. The baker found an envelope near the step. Inside was money enough to cover the bills he could not pay. A note said simply, "Tomorrow will taste sweeter." He looked around, called out, but the street answered only with wind. That was the way of the stranger. He gave without being asked. He mended what the world forgot to care for. His silence became the bridge between despair and dawn. The days grew shorter, the sky turning pale with quiet storms. The town moved through its small routines, unaware that the stranger's steps had slowed. He still walked the same path, past the bakery, the diner, the bridge. But his shoulders hung heavier, as though each act of kindness took a little from his breath. Scene shift: a hospital window glowing faint in the night. The nurse looked up as the stranger entered, carrying an old coat. He said nothing, just placed it on a chair beside a coughing patient. The nurse saw his hands trembling and tried to ask if he was all right. He only nodded, turned, and walked away into the snow. In the park beneath the frozen trees, he sat alone, watching children build a crooked snowman. Their laughter broke the silence like sunlight breaking a cloud. A mother called them home, and they waved at him, smiling without reason. He raised a hand in return, then lowered it slowly, as if holding onto a ghost. The stranger's body was fading, but his presence deepened. People began to feel him before they saw him. A calmness in the market, a sudden warmth in the air near the church steps. His silence was no longer absence, it was something holy, something whole. Scene shift: the river swollen with winter rain. The bridge slick and trembling under the wind. A car skidded, lost control, and struck the railing. A cry pierced the night, the water below dark and merciless. The stranger was there before the echo faded. Without thought, he climbed down the embankment, his boots sinking into ice. He reached the driver, pulled her from the shattered door. The current caught them both, twisting, dragging. The woman screamed, his grip held her above the black water until others arrived. They reached with ropes in hands and desperate shouts. She was pulled to safety, but he was gone. The river carried him away quietly, as though the silence itself had called him home. Scene shift: dawn breaking over the town. The rescue team searching the banks, finding nothing but his coat caught on a branch. Inside the pocket was the photograph, water stained but still whole. A man and a child by the river, smiling into forever. Beneath it, a note nearly erased by the current. It read, "Love needs no sound to be heard." The town mourned without knowing how to name him. The diner closed for one evening, candles in every window. The church bell rang, though no service was scheduled. The boy with the bicycle rode to the bridge and left a single white flower. The old veteran folded the stranger's coat and placed it by the altar. And the little girl from the orphanage held her music box and whispered, "Thank you." In the weeks that followed, the air in the town seemed softer. Arguments ended before anger took root. Neighbors shared bread without reason. Letters arrived at the post office addressed simply to the quiet man, no address. And still the townspeople swore that sometimes near dawn they saw him, just a shadow crossing the bridge before the first light touched the river. Scene shift: years later, the bakery changed owners. The diner painted new colors, the boy grown into a man. He told his children the story of a stranger who fixed his bike. The old veteran's coat hung framed on the church wall. Beneath it, carved in wood, were the words his silence spoke louder than shouts. In that small town, no statue, no plaque, no name remembered. Only the memory of warmth and cold hands. The echo of kindness that needed no sound. His silence still walking among them in every quiet act they chose to give. Scene shift: final evening light golden across the streets. The wind gentle, carrying the faint tune of a music box. The river calm, its surface like glass. And somewhere unseen, perhaps within every heart he touched, the stranger still breathes softly, reminding the world that the loudest voices are not always the ones that speak. Fade out slow.